Hi, this is Pritikara. Welcome to the channel that trended astrology podcasts in India. Today's Astrology 2026 predictions for 12 zodiac signs with Rashi and Moon sign is presented by Shri Mandir, India's most trusted devotional app with over 4 crore devotees. If you're in India or in any part of the world, you can trust Shri Mandir to perform astrological and spiritual remedies for you by their trusted and well-qualified priests who will perform these pujas and remedies for you at very authentic and powerful spiritual centers and temples in India. They will also send you a video proof of the same along with a prasad box at your doorstep. And yes, you can find the spiritual remedies for your Rashi right now. Now let's get back to 2026 predictions as per the Lagna, rising and the moon signs. Navneet ji, I welcome you on my podcast.
Thank you, Pritika ji, for having me on your channel.
And before we start this episode, I just want to very quickly tell the audience that when we're talking about predictions for a particular sign, we're not talking about the birth month. We're talking about the Lagna rising in your horoscope. Look at the first house in your horoscope. I'm going to circle it on the screen so that you know what I'm talking about. This is the first house, and whichever number you have in this house belongs to a sign. For instance, if it's 1, it's Aries, 2, it's Taurus, 3, it's Gemini, 4, it's Cancer, 5, it's Leo, 6, it's Virgo, 7, it's Libra, so on and so forth till 12 zodiac signs till you reach Pisces. So this is what you're going to check, and also you're going to check for your moon, wherever your moon is placed in your horoscope. For example, if your moon is placed in number 1, you're an Aries moon. If it's number 2, you're a Taurus moon. 3, Gemini moon. 4, Cancer moon. So on and so forth till Pisces. And this episode is going to have predictions for your Lagna rising as well as your moon rashis. This is the authentic way to do astrology. Guys, so don't look at your birth month. Get your horoscope, check your Lagna and your moon placement, the number in which your moon is placed, and then watch this video and you will get authentic reports for 2026 predictions. Let's begin.
2026, it's going to be a much better year than 2025. You must have heard that this year belongs to Surya Devata. In the Vedic Jyotish Shastra, it is very important to understand the king and the minister of the year. So to understand that, we have a technique known as Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, right? That is where the Vedic year begins. And that Vedic year falls on 19th of March 2026, right? And the day lord of that particular date is the king of the year. And this time it is falling on Thursday, and the king becomes Jupiter, right? So Jupiter itself is going to have a lot of impact in 2026. And then the second data point is when we have the sun entering the sign of Aries. And that particular date is April 14th, 2026, and the day is Tuesday. So the minister, the mantri of the year is Mars. So primarily we are going to revolve around the energy of 3 major planets, Sun from numerology, and then Jupiter and Mars from Chaitra Shukla Pratipada. And then obviously we have a very strong Saturn going to spend a lot of time in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the sign of Pisces. And we have Rahu spending a lot of time in a gianty mega nakshatra known as Shatabhisha. So we'll try and understand these combinations in these nakshatras, and then individually we'll take every Rashi and every Lagna one by one. We'll start with the first Rashi, Aries. And if you have Aries, zodiac sign, where that means which is your moon is in the sign of Aries, right? Or you have Aries as a Lagna. So every time we do a transit video, a lot of people ask, should we look at, a yearly prediction or a transit based on the Lagna or on the moon sign? It's always both, because the Lagna will always give you an environment that how things are going to be around you, and moon sign is your emotional connect with that environment, how you are going to react to a given situation. So starting with Aries, well, Aries, the Jupiter is going to transit from your third house, fourth house and fifth house quickly in 2026. And then you'll have your Rahu in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in the zodiac sign of Aquarius in the 11th house, and Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra in the 12th house. So this year is a great year to increase your knowledge. It's a year to upgrade yourself. You see, this year is going to be a year of extreme hard work. There is no alternative of hard work for Aries, Rashi or a zodiac sign. It is going to be a great year for construction of your home. You can buy property. You were waiting for so long to get a property. This is the year. The government is going to support you because Surya is also your fifth lord. And Surya, being the fifth lord, is going to give you tons and tons of spiritual support. You see, whenever there are major transits of planets in a particular Rashi or in a particular zodiac sign, the most important thing is how good the spiritual ecosystem is happening in your chart. So for Aries Rashi or Aries Lagna, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, right? But on the same time, you got to be careful with your financial management. You see, you've got Rahu and Ketu in 5-11 axis, where any impulsive decision or any decision which you just got carried away while any financial transaction is going to fire back. That is where you need to be conscious. Rahu in Shatabhisha Nakshatra has a clear message that you cannot do things individually. It's like a teamwork, because Rahu is a constellation of 100 stars. And there is a reason behind 100 stars is that you need collective effort to actually manifest certain things. On the same time, Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra in your 12th house is again giving you a message, looking at your 6th house of daily routine, right? Is that, and also looking at your Bhagya, it says clearly that this year you're going to do something where you do something for masses, where a lot of people are involved. And if you were working hard, if you were genuine in your work, this year is going to be the most rewarding year of your life. Why? Because based on the Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, the Jupiter, which is the king of 2026, is your 9th and the 12th lord, where you've got Saturn. On the same time, Surya is your 5th lord and Mars is your Lagna. So the minister is your Lagnesh himself. So this year is going to be the year of, lot of passion, lot of, bouncing back ability, right? On the same time, it is also going to be a year of new ventures, because when this year begins, you'll have Jupiter in your 3rd house. So new opportunities, right, is going to come. You will have, a lot of nourishment from the family, right? There's going to be a lot of travels in spiritual places. And last but not the least, you are definitely going to improve your health. The only concern I have for 2026 is be very careful, doing your financial transactions, because here it can hit you back if you do not understand the pros and the cons of your transaction. So this is about the Aries sign or the Aries Lagna. And last but not the least, the most important part are the remedies. You see, for Aries, the Ganapati sadhana or Ganapati Puja is extremely important for 2026, because when you begin, you have your Jupiter in the third and Ketu in the fifth house. So start your day by lighting a small lamp in front of Ganapati and start reciting Ganesh Sankat Nashan Stotra. This is a stotra for you for 2026. On the same time, if you have a good priest or anyone, any good Brahmin, you can get the Ganapati Puja done. There's a Ganapati Homa that can be done. On the same time, reading and listening to Shiv Mahapuran is going to be absolutely wonderful for your mental peace. You see, whenever you have Rahu in the Aquarius in the 11th house in Shatabhisha, going to the abode of Shiva, going to, mentally, psychologically, when you start, praying to Shiva and you start reading Shiv Mahapuran, it has absolutely tremendous amount of positive effect on your mind. Last but not the least, since you have Saturn in the Jala Rashi, which is Pisces, and from June 1st, you'll also have Jupiter coming into the Jala Rashi, Devi Upasana, Devi Puja, from June of 26 until December of 26 is going to be very, very important. So you can get, the Devi Homa, Devi Puja done, or at your home, especially in the evenings after the sunset, you can chant Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundai Vijay. This is a very powerful mantra. It is also, one mantra that will give you the blessings of all the three Shaktis, Ma Durga, which is in the form of Ma Lakshmi, Ma Saraswati and Ma Kali, will make you action oriented, which basically the Aries Rashi or the Aries Lagna is. On the same time, lot of donation to the Brahmins, especially on Amavasya and Purnima. Do not forget to, give some food to Brahmins. Maybe you can give them a packed food, or maybe you can prepare some food and give it to a local temple in a local priest. So these are going to be your remedies. But definitely this year is a year to upgrade your skill, to get lot of knowledge, and also a year of new beginnings. But be careful, do not take any impulsive decisions. That's what Aries Lagna and Aries Rashi for 2026. Taurus Rashi and Lagna. This is going to be a very good year in terms of your career. You see, you have Rahu transiting in your 10th house. And Rahu in the 10th house in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha is going to make you very, very secretive. You see, whenever we talk about Rahu nakshatras, right, be it Adra or be it Swati, be it Shatabhisha, these nakshatras have very secretive energy. So whatever you were planning from long time, for whatever you were preparing for long time, this is the year to launch it. This is the year to bring, your effort, your research to the world. But one thing you have to realize, that Rahu has a clear message for you, that you cannot work alone. You need a team. You need people working for you, with you. That is something that you have to realize. If you think that you can keep all the secrets with you and still you can be the master of everything, no, that's not going to be 2026 for you. So a collective effort, a teamwork is something which is very, very important. Be very careful with your communications in the third house because of Jupiter, starting from June 1st. You see, that is where you have to understand one thing, that you see, the Taurus Lagna people, they suffer because of their impulsiveness. Having Aries, in the 12th house as a zodiac sign. On the same time, so be very, very careful with major decision making when it comes to communication, when it comes to, dealing with your siblings, when it comes to dealing with your neighbors. You have to be super conscious. Do not forget, our country, India, has the Lagna as Taurus, and we have to be very careful from our neighbors. So there could be disturbing movements, that could come, or there could be disturbing controversies or disturbing planning which is going to come from our neighbors. Be very, very careful with your health. Why? Because here Jupiter, in the beginning of the year, Jupiter is going to be in your second house and aspecting your sixth house. So if you're gaining weight, or if you have problems related to your liver or cholesterol, these things are going to increase. So you can work, you should not miss your workouts. Be very careful with what you eat, because Jupiter in the second house can motivate you to eat a lot of sweets, right? Because Jupiter is a planet that has ability to give a big appetite, right? So you should eat less, and you should be very careful with what you're eating. Otherwise, there could be a lot of weight gain and hormonal issues for the Taurus rising or Taurus Rashi. On the same time, there will be a lot of stress at your work, right? Because you have Rahu, and collective responsibility at times is no responsibility. So if you've been someone who was working alone and you don't believe in teamwork and taking help and giving help for a common cause, it is going to be challenging. You will face stress, you will face politics, but on the same time, Saturn is in the 11th house, will eventually give you a lot of gains, right? Because he's here to show you the real path towards your society. Because whenever Saturn is in the 11th house, it's much, much better than Saturn being in the 10th house, right? It gives you reputation in the society. It makes you work hard for your gains, but eventually it also gives you the gains. So eventually it's going to be little traumatic at your workplace. You got to be careful with your health, but overall it is going to be a great year for you if you really work hard and you focus on a common goal rather than your individual goals. In terms of remedies, we have, since it is a Taurus Lagna, and Taurus is Rashi associated with Venus, Durga Puja, Durga Sadhana is very, very important. I think you should visit Vishnu temples and Krishna temples is going to be one of the great remedies. Since Jupiter, whenever it comes to the third house, for you, Jupiter is going to be exalted in the third house from June of 2026. That is the time to write the names of your gods. So I would personally recommend writing at least one page of Ram Nam or whatever god you believe in. So writing will give you great luck in this particular year. One thing I would always like to request everyone, never ever write your Guru mantra, which is not required. However, you can write Ram Nam, you can write Krishna Krishna, you can write Durga. So writing the names of the deities, of the devatas, of the Bhagwan is going to give you absolutely great result. This is the year when Jupiter from the third house is going to aspect your ninth house, meeting a guru, right? Meeting your spiritual master. You have a great opportunity this year. So overall, Taurus, it's going to be a great year for you. For Gemini, it is again a year going to be of lot of spiritual awakening. You see, you begin your year with Jupiter in the Lagna. That's the most beautiful thing. My Gurudev used to say, Navneet, whenever Jupiter transits through a particular Rashi or a particular sign, it is the time to actually burn the prarabdha and give you a new start. It is the time to rejuvenate in that particular bhava or that particular Rashi. So after almost 12 years, you have your Jupiter in the Lagna, giving you tons of spirituality. You will be focused towards religion. Also, on the same time, Jupiter in the Lagna has given you name and fame, right? And this year, it will rather increase your approach towards your children, towards your long distance travel, toward your daily routine, partnerships. All these things are going to be great. On the same time, this is a year where you can launch pending things. You see, if you have a book in the writing, or if you have been working on an organization in a company, or you were working on a setup, or you were working, together with bunch of people to launch something, this 2026 is the year. On the same time, since you have Saturn in the 10th house, especially in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this Saturn is going to make you work hard, right? You'll have to work hard for long, long hours. I mean, if you were thinking that this year you can do things with the smart work, no. This year is dedicated to your hard work. On the same time, this year is also a year of actually getting some slow results. You see, whenever Saturn is in your 10th house, it has ability to slow down the work pace. So if you really want things to be quickly, one thing that you have to remember is that everyone does not work with the same pace. We have individual people, they have their own style of working, and you have to keep patience. If you do not keep patience in this particular year, mentally, psychologically, you are going to feel bad, because you'll find people who are working slow around you. However, you have your Jupiter also coming in the second house from June of 2026, when you will have to attend celebrations with your relatives. Definitely, this is a year where you can invest in gold. Whatever investments that you've done in your previous year is going to give you absolutely great results this year. On the same time, Rahu will activate lot of long distance traveling for you, because Rahu here sits in your 9th house and tells you that why don't you go out and roam around the world. That's what Rahu gives you here. But on the same time, when you have Rahu in the 9th house, it is very important to make a balance between your spirituality and being into some corporate or being an atheist. You see, Rahu is a tug of war in the 9th house. Should I be traveling, going around the world, going behind the luxury, technology, or should I be, going around spirituality? This is the year where you can create a balance, and it is a golden opportunity for every Gemini Lagna or the moon sign. On the same time, you should be focused towards your hard work. Saturn has a clear message here. The more you work hard, the more and better results it's going to give you. You see, we have a kahavat कि जितना मीठा डालोगे उतना मीठा हो जाएगा. So that means more you add the sweet, more sweeter it will be. That is one line that basically applies to Gemini sign or Gemini Lagna. On the same time, since we have Ketu in the 3rd house, it's in the Magha Nakshatra. We have to be careful with new beginnings in romance and love. You have to be careful with your relationships, especially from October onwards, when Jupiter joins your Ketu in the 3rd house. That is where you can feel isolated. There are chances of breakups. You need to save your marriage. You need to control your nerve. You need to be in a patient mode, because when Jupiter and Ketu, and for Jupiter it is a Marana Karak Sthana. So Jupiter and Ketu in the 3rd house has ability to give you isolation. You start new journeys of your life alone. That's not what anyone would want. So on the same time, be very, very careful. On the same time, since Jupiter is in the Lagna, when you begin this year, be very careful with your weight gain, because here Jupiter, when it enters the 2nd house, can give you some problem in your spine. I've met so many people with Gemini Lagna and Gemini moon sign this year in 2025, where they had problems in the spine, they have problems in the lower back, they had problems in their legs, they have issues like sciatica coming in. So the best thing is do a lot of yoga, lot of pranayam, do stretching exercises, slowly move on to power yoga, right? And also work out. Do not miss your workouts. On the same time, do not let your weight to increase. On the same time, for financial help, loans will be available for you, because when Jupiter enters the sign of Leo, and this year numerologically is also the sign of Sun. So if you're trying to build a home, you're trying to start a particular organization and looking for some loans, some government support, it is a great year. This year, definitely it is a big yes. On the same time, tons of opportunities will come for you to accumulate wealth. So if you were planning to buy gold, silver, metals, if you have Jupiter or Saturn in trines in your horoscope or exactly opposite to each other, it is definitely a good time to put your money in mutual funds, SIPs, stocks, and even crypto, right? Because Rahu is going to be very, very supportive in this particular year. All you have to understand, the theme is that believe in collective work. The moment you run ahead of your team and not taking your colleagues or team members with you, that is where the conflict will be. Now, when it comes to remedies, this is the year of Vishnu, right? Start your day with Vishnu Sahasranama, get Mahalakshmi Puja or a homam done for you. Especially, when the sun is in the, or the Magh month, especially from 15th of February to 15th of March, right? This is a time when you can go to Prayagraj. This is a time when you can go to Triveni Sangam. This is a time when you go to Banaras, right? And also, do some Pitra Pujas done, because you see Ketu and Jupiter together in the third house is a great opportunity for you people to do something for the Pitris. Do not forget the Shraddh Paksha, both the Shraddh Pakshas of 2026. Make sure you donate some food to Brahmins on every Tithi, right, of the Shraddh Paksha. On the same time, since you have Rahu and Ketu transiting in your third and ninth house, Durga sadhana is something which is must. So you can visit Vaishno Devi, you can visit Durga Devi mandirs, you can go to Mahakali temple, and on the same time, Mahalakshmi Homa, Mahalakshmi Puja, the sadhanas of Lalita Sundari is very, very important for Gemini rising. So after the sunset, listening or reading Lalita Sahasranama is very, very good for Gemini Lagna or Gemini Moon sign. So this is what is there for Gemini in 2026. Lot of good opportunities, but keep your nerve. Good luck. Cancer Lagna or Cancer Moon sign people, Jupiter is going to come in your Lagna from June 2026. Well, name, fame will come with it. Lot of spirituality will come with it. You see, when Jupiter was in the 12th house, you were facing isolation. You were facing left out. But the moment 2026 will begin, it will begin a journey of, meeting a lot of people in your life. You will see suddenly all those people who were stepping away from you, who were ignoring you, who were not letting you communicate with them. They have made, unapproachable for you. This is the time when everything will come back. So you waited for a long time. You kept your nerve, you kept your patience. Now you will be rewarded. I'm saying again, whenever Jupiter enters the Lagna, it is the time of spiritual awakening. Traveling to various Jyotirlingas, visiting various spiritual retreats, going to various ashrams, meeting your guru is going to be the theme of 2026. But there can be problems with your financial gains. There could be luck not favoring you. There could be some struggles. So a lot of hard work is seen in 2026. Since Ketu is going to be in your second house, you need to be very careful with your communication and your behavior with your relatives. On the same time, I never consider Rahu in the 8th house very good for health. If you have any pending surgeries, get it done. But Rahu in the 8th house can give you a surgery. So be very careful when it comes to participating in any adventurous activities, right? Because Rahu can give you sudden accidents, sudden problems which you never thought, right? Any safe looking adventurous activity can turn terrible. However, a lot of things will depend upon your own Mahadasha. You see, the difference between a good and a bad Mahadasha is when you're running a good Mahadasha, all these positive things about the transit is going to be your way. But if the dasha is not good, all these negative inputs of the transits start affecting you. That's where these videos of transits and 2026 generic predictions come into the picture. Another important thing is that see, whenever Jupiter is in the Lagna, and then when Jupiter enters the second house with Ketu in October 2026, it is a great opportunity for you to go to Gaya, or you can also go to Gokarna. These are the two places where you can get your Pitri Pujas done. Very, very important. You see, I have seen Cancer Lagna people struggling in their life because of communication. Now I'll say, how come communication? Because in the 12th house of Cancer Lagna, we have Gemini. And I've seen the biggest problem with the Cancer Lagna or Cancer sign is that whenever they communicate something, the people around them, they perceive something else, right? They did not mean to hurt them, but people for no reason will get hurted. And then later they will be thinking that, oh, did I really say something wrong? That's the pitiest part about Cancer Rashi or a Cancer Lagna. You are soft-hearted, emotional, nourishing people, and people are taking you wrong. So for this, it is directly proportion to any Pitri dosha in the horoscope. So if you have any Pitri doshas, you have Moon and Sun with Rahu Ketu or Saturn with Rahu Ketu, it is time for you to visit Gaya or Gokarna and get the pujas done. On the same time, you will feel little isolated and left over at your workplace. You see, the problem here is that Jupiter is aspecting your Saturn, and Saturn is also your 7th lord, where you have your partnerships, right? Here, Jupiter is going to, it's going to clean your partnership. When I say clean your partnership, it means that if you have a corrupted partner or if you have a problem with the spouse, this is the year you're going to get rid of them, right? This is the year when you are going to have, a new beginning at your workplace also. But there are chances that you may get little left out, little isolated. But don't worry, when you're isolated, it is the time to bounce back. You see, at the top, everyone is alone. So you are going to be at the top. The Jupiter is in the Lagna from June onwards. So do not, take that isolation to your heart. It is going to be an absolutely great platform to move ahead. Many spiritual wishes will be fulfilled. So if you have a wish to go to Kedarnath, or you have a wish, maybe going to Tirupati and doing the darshans, or you have a wish to go to Kailash, right? All these things, all these wish fulfillments is in the 2026 for you. Well, there can be some stress regarding your health. There can be problems. As I said, Rahu in the 8th house can give you infections, especially in the rectum area. There can be allergies. Be very careful with what you eat. Be very careful with your reproductive system. If you have any complications, must visit the doctor. On the same time, last but not the least, be very careful with what you speak. This year is the year of speaking limited. This year is the year to speak to the point, and then everything will fall in place. When it comes to remedies, Gayatri mantra is very, very important for Cancer moon sign or Cancer Lagna. You see, Gayatri mantra requires Diksha. it requires initiation, and you can get it from the Gayatri Parivar, but it has protocols. So there are two ways to actually do the Gayatri Mantra. One is that you start your Gayatri Mantra from Tat Savitur. Do not add Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha if you are not initiated. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. That's how you can pronounce. Or if you can't do that, you can get the Gayatri Mantra Puja done. Maybe you can, get in contact with the Brahmin, give the Sankalpa to the Brahmin, and get at least 2 lakh Gayatri Mantras done, or a Gayatri Homa with Havan and Tarpan. At least 10% of the Gayatri Mantra should go in Havan and the Tarpan. So doing these will give you absolutely great results. Jupiter in the Lagna, Jupiter loves Gayatri. On the same time, you have Rahu in the 8th house. It is great time for you to learn Tantra. Also, if you have any enemies with you, the Bagala Mukhi Puja will be very, very important with Rahu in the 8th house. So if you can visit the Bagala Mukhi temple, or if you can get along with a Brahmin or a Pandit who could do the Ma Bagala Puja or a Homa for you, it is going to be absolutely wonderful. You can win over your enemies. But before you do the puja, get your horoscope checked. On the same time, visiting Durga Devi temple. You see, whenever Jupiter gets into a particular zodiac sign, you have to understand the theme. Cancer is related to mother in the Kal Purusha. So every day in the evening, lit a small lamp and try to read Durga Stuti. Right? Durga Stuti is the key in 2026 for Cancer Rashi. Last but not the least, you have to help people who are in old age homes. Anyone who is underprivileged, anyone who is old, anyone who is slow moving, anyone who needs support, genuine support, you should be doing it. Visit old age homes. You can visit, deaf and dumb schools. You can visit in the ashrams of handicapped people, underprivileged people. Go help them with food, medicines, clothes, education, books, whatever you can, right? You do that and lot of your negative prarabdha will be burnt. So anyways, it is going to be a great year for spiritual awakening. Be careful with your health. Do not feel stressed if you're left alone with your work. But overall, it is going to be a much better year than 2025. Now, Leo people. So with Leo, you have Jupiter in your 11th house when you begin 2026, and then Jupiter goes to your 12th house in June, and then eventually in October it's going to be in your Lagna. Well, the 11th, 12th and the Lagna are very, very important houses for Leo rising or Leo's moon sign. You see, the first thing which is going to give you absolutely great result is great potential to go to foreign lands. This year, if you have any permanent residency or citizenship or a green card staying in US, you have your interview lined up, or you have the outcome which is waiting, this is the year. On the same time, if you're working in corporate, there will be an international assignment, an offsite available for you. You'll get the opportunity. And if you're an entrepreneur, it is going to be a great year for imports and exports, right? Definitely, if you were, planning to start any exports, this is the year Leo rising. On the same time, a lot of new opportunities are going to come, because definitely Rahu is going to look at your 3rd house, sitting in the 7th house, and Rahu is also expanding your 11th house, where your public relations, networks with society, with friends, everything is going to expand. On the same time, do not forget to take blessings of your ancestors. You see, whenever Jupiter has any relationship with the 12th house or relationship with the 2nd house, need not forget ancestors. Every Amavasya, every Purnima, do little bit of charity to Brahmins whole 2026. On the same time, your pending karmas with your guru, teacher, father, husband is going to be settled, with lot of volume in 2026. So if you get an opportunity to do any guru seva, if you have opportunity to serve your bosses, your teachers, do not say no to them. If they want you to work hard for you, if they test you, please take it as a test and pass it. On the same time, this is not the year of expectations. So if you give something to someone, if you do something for your guru, for your teacher, for your spouse, it is not the year to expect something back. You see, this year is going to be almost giving. On the same time, since you are Leo rising or Leo moon sign, you will have to upgrade yourself. If you do not upgrade, you will face problems at your work. You will have to enhance your skills. Surya is only happy if you learn something every day. You see, whenever Surya is having a lot of energy in a particular year, on the same time, you have King as Jupiter from Chaitra Shukla Pratipada and Mars as a minister. All these three planets are in trines. All these three planets are very, very powerful for you. So consistency is the key for you. It's not about feeling motivated or demotivated in your life. You have to follow a strict routine. You have to be consistent, irrespective of how you feel every day. That is where Surya becomes very, very cruel. Surya does not bother if you are motivated or you are not motivated in a day. Surya believes in consistency. And if you remain consistent with your hard work, remain consistent with that zeal to do something, that is when 2026 is going to be the most rewarding year for you. On the same time, you have to check your expenses. There can be a lot of expenses on spiritual travel, spiritual visits. Even be very careful when you're investing your money. That's not going to be, very much favorable. However, everything depends upon your Mahadasha, because Mahadasha is, very, very powerful. You cannot forget Mahadasha. You cannot forget Mahadasha in any transit when you are applying on a native's chart. On the same time, the wish fulfillment for traveling a particular country or a city is going to be fulfilled. On the same time, this year is a year of getting a lot of confidence and recognition, because after October, Jupiter is going to be in your Lagna and you were feeling little headless. You were talking to yourself a lot. You were planning a lot, but you were not able to execute. But from October 26, the execution, the manifestation will begin for you. So very, very important, year for you. Keep the nerve, be consistent, forget about being motivated or demotivated. When it comes to remedies, Aditya Hridaya Stotram is the key for you. Visiting your gurus, getting initiated is something very, very important. On the same time, if you can have a pet dog at home, bringing a dog at home is very, very good and lucky for you. On the same time, since you are Leo rising, it is very important to do Gayatri Homa, Gayatri Mantra Puja, Surya Deva Puja, right? If you can visit Jagannath Mandir, Jagannath Temple, it will be very auspicious for you, right? Go and also visit the Surya Devata temples. On the same time, try to get up early, right? If you can get up before the sunrise and start your prayers in Brahma Muhurta, it is going to be absolutely fantastic. And consistency is the key. If you're doing it for 2 days and not doing it for 3 days and then again doing it for 2 days, that's how it's not going to work. You need to be consistent. Even if you wake up at 7 and start your prayers by 7:30 or 8 o'clock, be consistent. That is where Surya is going to test you. Trust me, based on my experience of all the 9 planets, right? Surya is the cruelest one. He's very, very cruel. He's unapproachable. You can think of going on to any planet, but not Surya. He's not approachable. He's going to burn you, right? On the same time, when you have, Leo as a Lagna or a Leo as a moon sign, the only thing that you're deprived from is the love and blessing and expectations from your family. You see, I've seen Leo rising people or Leo moon sign, they do a lot for their family. They have commitment towards the family, but in return, they do not get much. So that is where your expectations are hurt. I think the Lagna is like that. But the best thing that you can do is expect from the God. Expect from the Surya Bhagwan. Because when God will give, when Surya Bhagwan will give, it will be incomparable. You cannot compare it with what people on the earth can give you. So you have this birth to give a lot and expect only from that God. That is the key. If you can understand this theme, 2026 is going to be a great year for you. It is great year for entrepreneurship. If you're an entrepreneur, this is a year that can take you to a milestone. Your public relations, your name and fame in the society is on cards. The condition that you have is that you have to work really, really hard. Your relationship with siblings will improve. It is a great year if you want to take a change in your job. A lot of people keep telling me that, Navneet sir, when is the year when we can take a major change in the job, or we can switch to another company? For Moon in the Virgo or Virgo Lagna, this is the year. You have Rahu in the 6th house, which is very, very powerful. It will help you to do the collective effort. You may get a reference from a friend or an old boss, right, who would come and say, why don't you join us? It is the right time to join. On the same time, Jupiter is in your 10th house, and then it will go to your 11th house and also be touching your 12th house. So all these three bhavas, 10th from the moon, 11th and 12th from your moon are very, very powerful and positive, transits of Jupiter. On the same time, Rahu and Ketu transit is just superb. Rahu in the 6th, Ketu in the 12th is very, very powerful. A lot of directional strength, a lot of creative ideas and collective effort will be there for your entrepreneurship drive, for your enterprise, or even at your job. Absolutely fantastic year for enhancing technology. So if you're into IT, or if you want to enhance your technology, if you wish to bring new software, CRMs in your organization, this is the year. This is the year where you are going to create an ecosystem of technology which you've never used before, right? On the same time, you have Saturn in the 7th house with 100% directional strength. This is a year of having new partnerships. If you have good partnership yogas, your 7th lord in your natal chart is not in 6, 8 or 12, or the 7th house is not afflicted, or the 7th lord is not afflicted, this is the year for having partnerships. This is a year where you can also get married. Very, very important. On the same time, you got to be careful with your health. You see, whenever we have Rahu in the 6th house, it has ability to give you, Vata issues. When I say Vata issues, problems which are related to air in the body. So have joint pains, lower back, knees, right? Various forwarding pains in the body, or when you have pains in your muscles, that's what Rahu does in the 6th house. So be very, very careful. Do a lot of yoga, a lot of breathe in and breathe out activities are something which is very, very important. On the same time, since Rahu in the 6th house, it can, it can create certain conflicts with your colleagues, with the people who are working, with you on daily basis. So avoid politics, avoid any secretive chats or planning or plotting. It is going to fire back. So be very careful with that respect. On the same time, the best remedy for you is Vishnu Sahasranama here. On the same time, if you have any fatherly figure at your home, or if you have father, right, make sure you dedicate this year towards love, affection and care towards your father or any fatherly figure. On the same time, right, read Bhagavad Gita. So reading Bhagavad Gita is going to give you absolutely great results. You can also take a dip in Ganga or Narmada. On the same time, you see, this year you have to get, Hanumanji's puja done, or praying to Hanumanji in the evening is very, very important. So a little lamp of desi ghee in front of Hanumanji and read Hanuman Chalisa. You can also read Hanuman Bahuk. And you see, this year, the problematic situation is in your 8th house, because you see, Mars is the minister and Mars is your 8th and the 3rd lord. So, doing Hanumanji's puja or getting a Hanuman puja done for yourself is where you are going to protect your longevity. You are going to protect yourself from any accidents or any sudden events or any unwanted struggles that are seen from the 3rd house. Well, Jupiter is the minister and Jupiter is very powerfully transiting in your horoscope. So good luck, Virgo people. Libra, moon sign or Libra rising. You have Rahu in your 5th house transiting, Ketu in the 11th house, Jupiter transiting from the 9th, 10th and the 11th house, and you've got very powerful Saturn in the 6th house. Saturn is very supportive here for you. So on the daily basis, on daily routine, Saturn is going to give you tons of support. Jupiter is going to enhance your luck. You see, whenever Jupiter is in the 9th house or Jupiter is in the 10th house transiting, it is a golden opportunity for you to have long distance travels, to visit various spiritual places. This is the year where you can also be in the good books of your boss. You can also be very good at your work. If you were planning to expand your work, you want to have channel partner or anything which is multi-level marketing, or you are planning to, go global, this is the year for you, Libra. This is the year. On the same time, be very careful with overthinking. You see, this year when Rahu is in the 5th house aspecting your Lagna, right, definitely there will be a lot of overthinking, which will give a lot of stress and anxiety. On the same time, be very careful with excessive greed, because when Rahu is in the 5th, we've got Saturn in the 6th, there could be that you fell for excessive greed. That is where the problem can come. On the same time, since Saturn is in the 6th house, there could be some problems in your bones, fractures, muscles, right? Be very careful with your shatika, do yoga, do your stretchings, go for long walks. Otherwise, this year can trouble you with your health. You have both Rahu and Saturn transiting in the 5th and in the 6th house. Not good for cardiac health, not good for your stomach, not good for your muscles. Be very, very careful. Do not have a very sedentary lifestyle. You need to work out, need to go for long walks. Be very careful in marriage, right? And if you're waiting for any divorce or separation for long term, this is going to manifest, right? So that pain that you were facing from long time is going to go away. So the remedies for you, Libra people: yoga, pranayam, breathe in, breathe out activities, helping poor children, underprivileged people, right? You should go to Hanuman's Mandir and offer a flag on Tuesday once every month. Do it for 12 months, 12 flags, right? Any Tuesday of a month. It is very, very important. And the mantra for you is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you can get a Vishnu Puja or a Mahalakshmi Puja done at your home, superb, right? So this is, what is there for you, Libra people. Scorpio Rashi and Scorpio Lagna. For you, we have Rahu in the 4th house, Ketu is in the 10th house, We've got Saturn in your 5th house. Jupiter is going to transit over your 8th house, 9th house, and 10th house in 2026. Well, this is a year where you have to be very careful about your mother's health. You see, this is a year when you have Rahu in the 4th house, and if you got, any prominent planets or Saturn there, definitely it could be a problematic situation for your mother. There could be certain challenges with the children. They will exhaust you this year. So you got to be on toes. Also, your romantic life may suffer because you've got a very dry and a cold planet in the 5th house. So you may feel left out, you may feel alone, isolated, but on the same time, right, it is a great time for spiritual enhancement. The moment Jupiter gets exalted and it enters the zodiac sign of Cancer from June of 2026, it is the time to visit your Jyotirlinga. It is the time to at least visit Kashi, right? So this is the year of visiting Kashi Vishwanath for all Scorpio rising. On the same time, with extreme hard work, you will reach on the top. You have Jupiter and Ketu, getting together in October 2026, where a Dwaj Yoga, where you'll be able to, have your flagship at your work. This is where, with extreme hard work, dedication, and consistency, you can become a champion. Do not be impulsive. The only problem with Scorpio rising or Scorpio moon sign is impulsiveness. If you get impulsive with your family members, if you get impulsive at your work, there are chances of losses. On the same time, there can be a major change at your workplace. There could be a major change in your daily routine. So suppose if you were working in a particular city or a state, you may get a transfer this year. On the same time, you can be in the radar of major layouts, right? So, but that layout, that, leaving a job or you being sacked is going to give you a great platform towards your entrepreneurship, aim or goal. So do not consider that to be something very, very disturbing, because that's going to create a platform. On the same time, the remedies for Scorpio is meditation, yoga, pranayam, long walks, extensive gymming, working out. Ram Nam Japa is very, very important. Panchakshari mantra, Namah Shivaya, is the key in 2026, because you have a very, very strong Saturn in your 5th house, and Namah Shivaya is a mantra that is going to protect you. Traveling to Jyotirlingas, various religious places, and last but not the least, if you can get the Rahu Ketu Puja done, it will be great. If I have to do, I'll go to Kalahasti, tell the Brahmin, the position about Rahu and Ketu, and get my puja done. It's going to be a great, great effort. It is a golden opportunity for you people to get the puja done. So this is all about Scorpio people, ladies and gentlemen. Sagittarius moon sign or Sagittarius Lagna. So your Lagna Lord, Jupiter, is the king of 2026 based on Chaitra Shukla Pratipada. On the same time, you are also going through the Chaturthadhaya of Shani. Shani is transiting forth from the natal moon. You've got Jupiter in the 7th house from your moon, and then going to the 8th, and then finally in the 9th house, and then coming back to the 8th house. On the same time, we also have Ketu in your 9th house, and definitely we've got Rahu in the 3rd. This is a year for great spiritual achievement. You see, whenever you've got Rahu in the 3rd and Ketu in the 9th house, there's a lot of spiritual awakening that comes, a lot of opportunity to find your guru, to meet your guru, to visit Jyotirlingas, enhance your education, enhance your spiritual and religious journey is going to be the key of this particular year. It is great year for renovation of your home or your office. So if you're planning to construct a home, this is the beginning. If you're planning to renovate your home or even at your shop or your work or your office, it's an absolutely fantastic time. On the same time, you've got to be very careful from June onwards in terms of your health, especially your spine. Do not get into any adventurous activity. Do not get into heavy weight trainings, because when Jupiter goes to the 8th house exalted, it can cause certain health issues. It is like a guru dosha in the Ashtama Bhava. So be careful with cervical, be careful with the Shatika problems. Otherwise, it is a great time to begin spiritual journey, start learning Jyotisha, cult sciences. It is going to be an absolutely great year. Lot of support is going to come from foreign lands, because Jupiter in the 8th, when exalted, is going to aspect your 12th house. Lot of support, imports, exports, that global exposure is going to be there. On the same time, there will be a rejuvenation. It will be like, regaining your relationship with your extended family, with your in-laws. Great year for politicians as well. If you're in politics, it's an absolutely great year. A lot of opportunities will come your way. Saturn here in the 4th house is going to make you work day in, day out. That's where the problem is going to be. However, if you work hard, stay consistent, this is going to be a much better year than 2025. For remedies, take bath in Ganga, or you can order Ganga Jal from Amazon and take the bath. And while you're taking the bath, recite a mantra, Har Har Gange, Har Har Gange. That's something very, very important. Shiva Sahasranama from Rudra Yamala Tantra is something that you need to listen or recite, this particular year. See, recitation of such, Sahasranamas are little difficult. So if you can't recite, sit in an isolated place, be connected and just listen to it. It is going to give you equal results. Even the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is also going to give you great result. If you can visit Tirupati Balaji and also get the Rahu Ketu Puja done at Kalahasti. Very, very important. So, now we have Capricorn moon sign or Capricorn Lagna. You people have Rahu in the 2nd house, Saturn in the 3rd house. You have Jupiter transiting from 6th to 7th and then to 8th and then coming back to 7th. And this is the year, where you have opportunity for wealth accumulation. You see, you've got Rahu in the 2nd house, right? You will have urge to accumulate as much wealth you can. There will be a major shift in the responsibility. You are going to get lot of responsibilities this year, right? I mean, it could be, you may feel tired because you will be full of responsibilities at your work, at your home. Society, friends, office may not value your effort in the beginning, but later on they are going to realize it and they are going to acknowledge it. So your recognition at your work will be little delayed in this year. Great time to make major changes in the food habits, right? So be very careful what you eat. If you want to leave any of your bad habits, any shadripus that you have, like smoking or drinking or anything that you eat anytime, or you eat a lot of tamas, right? This is the time when you can quit, when you can rejuvenate yourself. You will get a lot of support from your spouse and from your life partner, especially after June 2026, when Jupiter gets exalted in the 7th house. A lot of support is going to be there. On the same time, be very careful, because until June 2026, so from January to June, since Jupiter is in the 6th house, you may have issues with your liver, any liver infections, jaundice, any problems related to cholesterol, increasing weight, right, or high SGPT or SGOT levels are going to be the area of concern. On the same time, working out, going for long walks, weight training, limiting your food is going to be very, very important. You see, you have your Ketu in the 8th house, which is the Lord of the 11th. And after, October 2026, you'll also have Jupiter coming into the 8th house, which is your 12th Lord. So here you should be very careful with any honey traps, right? You should not get into any illicit relationships. It will give you a lot of problem. There could be stress in the investments. Be very careful with the speculations, but eventually if you're careful, if you plan intelligently, it is going to give you great results. Ketu in the 8th house has capability to give you surgeries. So if you have any pending surgery, you can go for it. Otherwise, refrain yourself from any adventurous activities. Do not wear gemstones unnecessarily, because this year a lot of people can recommend you gemstones. If you're really sure and you believe the capabilities of your Jyotishi, only then wear it. The best remedies for you, Capricorn, is going to be Purnima fasting. Be vegetarian. Do not consume alcohol. Try to get away from tamasic food as much you can in 2026. Do a lot of weight training. Do a lot of exercise. Visit Shiva temples. If you can do maximum Jyotirlingas this year, will be great. And donating milk is something that you can do on daily basis. You can get a small Saphatic shivling at your home, maybe of the thumb size, and offer milk and curd and water, or you can make a Panchamrita, right, and offer it on the Shivalingam. So that's about Capricorn. So we move on to Aquarius Lagna, Aquarius Lagna or Aquarius Moon sign. So Aquarius Moon sign, you're going through Shani Sadasati, right? And it has been little difficult, but on the same time, you make mistakes and then you learn from them. Remember, you are not the smartest person in the world, because you can make mistakes, but on the same time, if you feel overconfident, this is where you can take a major hit. You see, Rahu is in your Lagna, Ketu is in your 7th house, Jupiter is transiting in the 5th, 6th and the 7th house in 2026, and on the same time you have Saturn in the 2nd, right? So do not follow friends or do not follow crowd. Just follow your instinct. Follow where you are the best. Ask and listen to your inner voice. Learn and upgrade every day. You see, Surya is your 7th Lord here. He's going to be cruel. And if you do not upgrade yourself, if you don't learn things every day, if you don't upgrade your skills, this is going to be a troublesome year for you. On the same time, you have Jupiter as a king and Mars as a minister. And Mars is your 3rd Lord. Watch what you speak. Watch your communication. Be very, very careful at your work, or there could be problems. On the same time, if you learn, if you are very, very calculative, and if you quit your Shadri pose, if you quit your, any bad habits, trust me, this is the year which is the year of rewarding you. It's like, you get that lifetime achievement award. This is the year of that. But you have to tell Shani that you are disciplined, you are organized. And this year has a huge potential of transformation, right? Because Saturn from the 2nd house is aspecting your 8th house, which is going to give you tons of transformation. If you've worked hard in past 2-3 years and the dasha is good, you will be rewarded. Take my words. Great year for children, right? Especially after June of 2026. But you got to be careful with your liver issues, right? You got to be careful with what you eat. Exercise, workout, long walks, meditation, yoga is the key. But one thing is for sure, that after October, you're going to get a lot of support from your life partner, from your business partner as well. So when it comes to remedies, chanting your Guru Mantra, lit a Desi ghee lamp in front of Hanumanji, doing Hanuman Chalisa, getting the Hanuman Puja done, feeding Brahmins on Amavasya and Purnima, also feeding Brahmins on, specifically on Thursdays is going to be very, very important. Bringing a dog home is very, very auspicious and lucky this year. If you can avoid certain surgeries, or maybe at times there is a tooth extraction and you have time for it, right? Do not get it done. If you can prolong it to 2027, it will be great. Okay, now we've got Pisces moon sign or Pisces Lagna. You have the Sadasati going on, where moon, your Saturn is right over your moon. It's on the peak. But, it is still a great year for you in terms of, your spirituality, because Jupiter transit is going to be in the 4th house, 5th house, and the 6th house. So when Jupiter is in the 4th and in the 5th, it has ability to bless you. It has ability to reduce the effect of that Saturn that you have in your Lagna. If your karmas are good, if you are very, very spiritual, very, very ethical in your life, you follow dharma, you take care of the family, you do your guru mantras, this is going to be a rewarding year for you. But if you are exactly opposite of the same, this is where you're going to take major hits of your life. Your health may suffer. Your connection with that, that vibration, the connection with that purity is going to be disconnected because of Saturn in the Lagna. However, Ketu in the 6th house can give you certain bacterial infections, IBS, problems in the stomach. Be very careful with what you eat. Do not take stress. Do not let your stress go to your stomach, because that is going to upset all the enzymes and it's going to give you a severe IBS. On the same time, this is also a time of mantra siddhi. You see Jupiter coming in your 5th house. If you have a guru mantra, if you're planning to do any Bhairav siddhi, Bhairava puja, this is the right time. On the same time, when it comes to your work, you see, you will be able to, have a milestone fixed for you. It's going to be a flagship effort and flagship promotion that is going to come to you in this particular year. But on the same time, you need to enhance your technical skills. The technology in your business should and will take a great improvement. It is also time to build home, because Jupiter is going to transit in the 4th house. So making home, buying a property, buying a car is very, very auspicious. Your children will get great opportunity, especially after October 2026. And if you worked hard, if you are very, very ethical, you are following the, path of dharma, this is the year to get Lifetime Achievement Award. Trust me. Otherwise, if you are unethical, if you do not follow dharma, it is going to be a difficult year for you. In terms of remedies, Devi Sadhana, right? Om, Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundai, Viche. This is a key mantra for you. Do not forget to do Navratri fasting. Having a pets, dogs, cats at home is going to be great. Feeding Brahmins on Amavasya and Purnima. And last but not the least, visiting Kashi, visiting Haridwar, visiting Ganga, Narmada, where you have these rivers. Maybe if you have a Gurudwara nearby, going and taking a dip in the Sarovar of Gurudwara is going to be absolutely fantastic, especially when the Sadasati runs. Taking dips in spiritual, areas is superb remedy. And top of it, we also have Saturn in the watery sign. We also have Jupiter in the watery sign. So under these conditions, taking such spiritual, religious dips is a great remedy. So this, Pritika ji, was all about the 12 Rashis and the 12 Zodiac Signs, right? And I hope we have our viewers to take benefit from these remedies. And till then, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Pritika ji. Thank you.
So we have wonderful remedies here by Navneet Chitkara ji. And the best part is that in case if you are abroad, or if you cannot get these remedies done, there are platforms in India, and there is Shri Mandir. You can connect with them. They're presenting this podcast today. You can connect with them for the remedies. But of course, thank you Navneet Chitkara ji for these amazing predictions. Whatever you predicted last year came absolutely true for me. That's why I believe in astrology so deeply.
Thank you.
If you liked this episode, you can follow me. I'm on Instagram. I'm Pritika Pri on Instagram. You can subscribe to this channel. Lots of love.